Okay, here we go. I have that we should be starting, if I'm correct, Kuf Dalet Aleph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are three shields. A bench shield is susceptible to becoming Tomei with Midras Truma. A shield with which combatants play on the sporting grounds is susceptible to becoming Tomei with corpse Tuma. And the play shield of Arabs is Tahor in any form of Tuma. There are three wagons. A wagon made like a katera is susceptible to becoming Tomei with Midras Tuma. A wagon made like a bed is susceptible to becoming Tomei with corpse Tuma. And a wagon made for the transportation of stones is Tahor from any form of Tuma. There are three troughs. A trough with a capacity of between 2 logs and 9 calves that have developed a crack is susceptible to becoming tame with midras tuma. An intact trough, too, is susceptible to becoming tame with corpse tuma, and a trough of great proportions is tahor from any form of tuma.
Okay, so now we follow on with more of these missionaries, all following the same pattern. Shalosh tevosin, so 3 types of chests. Okay, teva shepitcha mitzida. Midras. So a chest where the opening is on the side, that is Tame Midras because people will sit on it as well. So it's not just a container; it's also a seat. Mila Malan, if the top of the chest is the access point where you pop open the lid in order to put things in it, that's Tame Mace, and you're not worried about people sitting on it because maybe people will sit on it. But if somebody sits on it, then somebody else will come and say, could you please get off so I can use the chest for its intended purpose? So as soon as you have that situation where people will say, get up, I need to use the chest, please, then it's no longer considered a seat, even if people will occasionally use it as a seat. And therefore, it's not Tame Medras, only Tame Mace. Baba Mida, and a chest that is extremely large, like we had in the previous Mishna, more than 40 sa'ah, of content, which means that it's basically immovable when it's full. Tahora miklum, no tuma at all attaches to that. All right, next up is a tarbus. You know what a tarbus is, right?
Yes.
No. Okay. So the commentary gives us the explanation. The word tarbus is a Latin term that refers to the untreated hide of an animal. Sometimes the hide would be fashioned into a trunk and used to contain objects. And there are other definitions of the word. Okay, so now, what are the, so basically it's a leather, it's a big piece of leather that's been fashioned into something. Okay, the tarbos of shel saparin, shalosha tarbosin, tarbos shel saparin. That's why saparin is translated as blood letter. That's interesting, because a sapar is a barber.
Oh.
So they say here, our translation of saparin is a blood letters based on Rab. Other translated as a barber. Yeah.
I think barbers sometimes did bloodletting. I think
not intentionally. Oh, really?
I think they did.
Like part of their side job.
Yeah.
Seeing as I've got all these sharp knives here.
As long as I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so the saparin, I'm going to go with barbers. But blood letters could be the same. It's basically the customers come and they sit on it. So that's going to be Tami Midras. She'ochlin alav. Okay, one that's being used as a cloth that you put on the tablecloth. So there, it's going to be subject to regular contact tuma, but not midras tuma, because if somebody sits on it, then people will say, "Get up, we want to use the table." Okay, but shel zaysim tar miklum, and if it's spread out simply for putting olives on it, then it is then that's not tame at all. Now, this is not the reason why we have to call it a tarbus and not just like a leather sheet, because a leather as a garment itself would be tame just because it's a garment. So this is basically untreated. It's not it hasn't been completed as a beged, and that's why it would be tahor. I see you having a bit of a moment with your cat over there.
These guys make it easy.
Okay, Mishnah Vav. Shalosh basis hayosein. So 3 types of bases. Okay, well, it's basically a little stool that sits next to something else. Shelifnei mita, right? So you've got a little step that's next to your bed. What's that for? That's for people to stand on to make it easier to get into the bed. Okay, and therefore that is Tamei Midras. Shel Dulufki. So the Dulufki is a little table, right? It's a so that is also is basically an adjunct to the Dulufki, this little base over here. So which was an extra space. It's an auxiliary to the Dulufki, and just like the Dulufki is going to be Tamei Mace, so is the block that goes next to it. V'shel Migdal Tahor Miklum. And that of a cabinet is tahor from any form of tumah. So our Mishnah is referring to a pedestal that would be placed beneath a cabinet to prevent it from becoming damaged by the moist earth. Okay. Now, although it's not attached to the cabinet, it's clear from its form and construction that this base is not intended to be an independent utensil, but rather a component of the cabinet. And as such, it has the same status with regard to tumah susceptibility as the cabinet itself. And since due to its large size, a cabinet is not susceptible to tumah, right? Its base is similarly impervious to tumah. All right, that's it. Nice and easy, this parak.
Okay. We should be at hey.
Yep.
Regarding a block that wasn't set in a row of bricks, whether he set it in the wall but did not build on it, or he built on it but did not set it in the wall, it is tamei. But if he set it in the wall and built on it, it is tahor. Regarding a mat that one placed over the ceiling beams, whether he attached it to the beams and did not lay plaster over it, or he laid plaster over it but did not attach it to the beams, it is tamei. But if he attached it and laid it plaster over it, it's tahor. Regarding a plate that one attached to a bin, a chest or a cabinet, if it was attached in the way that it receives, it is tamei. But if it was attached in the way that it not the way it receives, it's tahor. Regarding a sheet that is susceptible to becoming tamei with midras tumah, and one made it into a curtain, it is impervious to midras tumah, but is susceptible to becoming tamei with corpse tumah from corpse tumah. From when does it become tahor? Beis Shammai says from when it is broken. Beis Hillel says even when it is tied. Rabbi Akiva says when it is attached. A mat in which one has placed reed stalks along its length is tahor, but the sages say only if the stalks are laid similar to the shape of a key. If you place the reed stalks along the mat's width, but they are not 4 hand breadth between one reed and the next, it is tahor. From when does a mat become susceptible to
Hold on, you skipped a page.
Okay. If it is split in the middle, Rabbi Yehuda rules it tahor, and similarly, if one unties the end knots, it is tahor. If it splits in its length and 3 end knots remained of its 6 hand breadths, it is tamei. When does a mat become susceptible to tumah? From when it is trimmed, and this represents the completion of its manufacture.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next up.
When you had your COVID, did you have like a pain in your head the whole time?
No, I got that afterwards with the sinusitis.
Oh, robbing thing over here. If a barrel developed, this is your, well, did I tell you where we were? We were in Keilim, right? If a barrel developed a hole and the sediments blocked it, they have protected it. If one plugged the hole with a vine, it does not protect until one plastered the sides. If there were 2 vines, then they did not protect one until one plastered the sides and between one vine and the other. Regarding a board that was placed over the mouth of an oven, if one plastered the sides, it protects. If there were 2 boards that do not protect until one plastered the sides and between one board and the other, if it joined them with cinnamon, or with shugum, one need not apply plaster in the middle. An old oven, which was within a new oven, and there was a sedra over the mouth of the old oven. If the old oven is removed and the sedra would fall, then everything is tamei, but not if everything is tahor. The new oven was in an old oven, and there was a sedra over the mouth and over the oven. If there is less than a handbreadth between the new oven and the sedra, then everything within the new oven is tahor. Regarding stew pots placed within one within the other, and the rims were even, the seretz is in the middle or upper stew pot, it is tamei, and the rest are tahor. And the pots were perforated to the extent that liquid would enter. If the sheretz is in the upper pot, all the pots are tamei. If the sheretz was in the lower pot, it is tamei, and all the other pots are tahor. If the sheretz is in the upper pot and the lower pot extends above it, and the lower pot are and the lower pot tamei. If the sheretz is in the upper pot and the lower pot extends above it, and any pot that contains enough beverage in it to moisten it is tamei.
Yeah. It's more
Okay, Aleph Dalet. A meduma mixture does not create another meduma mixture except according to calculation. And dough that was leavened with truma does not render forbidden another dough it leavened except according to calculation. And drawn water does not disqualify a mikveh except according to calculation. Mekatis does not become valid. Mekatis become valid. Mekatis except with the placement of the para aduma ashes. A base of pras does not create another base of pras. There is no truma after truma. A truma cannot make a truma, and the offspring of an offering cannot make a trumora. I keep saying truma. More. I meant
Yeah, there's truma and there's tamura here.
Rabbi Yehuda said the offspring of an offering can make a tamora. They said to Rabbi Yehuda, a consecrated offering can make a tamora, but neither the offspring of an offering nor the tamora can make a tamora. Bird offerings and mink offerings cannot make a tamora. And for the laws of Tuma are stated only in regard to an animal. Community and partners cannot make a Tumor, for it is stated, you shall not substitute it, which teaches that an individual shall not make a Tumor, that neither the community nor partners can make a Tumor. Offerings to the upkeep of the temple can make a Tumor. That was it. I'm sorry, right? But Reb Shimon says, but Shimon said, but was not Ma'aser Behema included in the general category of offerings that Tumor. And why was it singled out? To draw a comparison to it. Just as Ma'aser Behema is the offering of an individual, this excludes communal offerings such as Ma'aser Behema is an altar offering. This excludes offerings for the upkeep of the temple.
Yeah.
And
Marcos.
Mid-dollar. And the reader reads, if you will not observe to do, etc., then the Lord will make your blows wonderful and the blows, etc. And he returns to the beginning of the passage. Observe therefore the words of this covenant. And it concludes with, but he, being full of compassion, forgives iniquity, and returns to the beginning of the passage. If he should die under his hand, he is exempted. If he added one more lash and he died, he is being exiled because of him. If he befouled himself, whether with excrement or urine, he is exempt, and reviewed as a man with excrement and a woman with urine. All those liable for carry have been flogged are exempted from carry, as it is written. And then your brother shall be dishonored before your eyes. Once he has been flogged, he is your brother. Well, Reb Chanina ben Gamliel said, I'm sorry, I just wrote that wrong.
Yeah.
Reb ben Gamliel said, so Reb ben Gamliel. Said Reb Chanina ben Gamliel, if he who commits one transgression for forfeit his soul thereby, then all the more so will one performs a mitzvah shall be soul be restored to him. Reb Shimon says, we learn from the same place for it is written, even if the souls that do not that do them shall be cut off. And it says, which if a man do, he shall live by them. Hence, one who sits and commits no transgressions is regarded as one who performs a mitzvah. Reb Shimon, son of Rebbe, says, lo, it says, only in be steadfast in not eating the blood, for the blood is the life. If a man keeps apart from blood, from which one is averse, with reason receives a reward, how much more so will the man who keeps apart from robbery and incest, which a man so lusts after and covets, gain merit for himself and his generations and all the generations of his generations to the end of all generations. The Penina ben Akasha said, the Holy One, blessed be he, desired to grant merit to Israel. Therefore he multiplied for them Torah and commandments, as it is written, the Lord was pleased for his righteousness' sake to make the Torah what did I say? It's mixed up over here.
Yagdil Torah v'yadir.
Yeah, makes the Torah efficient and glorious. Okay.
Hadra Masechet Makos, and we start Shavuos tomorrow.
We start Rosh Hashanah today.
Huh? Rosh Hashanah today. Yep.
And Shavuos tomorrow.
Yep.
Should be Sukkot.
No, Shavuos is not about Shavuos.
No. Aleph. There are 4 new days. One on the first of Nisan for the new year, when reckoning the reigns of Jewish kings and establishing the order of the holidays. On the first of Elul is the new year for the type of animals. And Reb Elazar and Reb Shimon say it is on the first of Tishrei. 4 junctures of the year, the world is judged on Pesach for the grain, on Shavuos for the fruit of the tree, on Rosh Hashanah all who walk the earth pass before him like young sheep.
Are you hanging? You skipped a page because Mishna Aleph carried on with the first. Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. On the 5th of Shabbat is the new year for the tree, according to the words of Beit Shammai. Beit Hillel says on the 15th thereof, as it is said, he who fashions all their hearts together, who understands all the deeds, and on the festival they are judged.
Whoa. No, you skipped again.
I'm going to start from the beginning. On the 1st of Shabbat is the new year for the tree, according to the words of Beit Shammai. Beit Hillel says on the 15th thereof. At 4 junctures of the year, the world is judged on Pesach for the grains, Shavuos for the fruit of the tree. On Rosh Hashanah, all who walk the earth pass before him like young sheep. As it is said, who fashions all their hearts together, who understands all the deeds, and on the festival they are judged for the water. For 6 months, the messengers go forth for Nisan, because of Pesach, for Av because of the fast, for Ella because of Rosh Hashanah, for Tishrei because of the proper termination of the holidays, for Kislev because of Hanukkah, for Adar because of Purim. And when the temple was in existence, they went forth also for Iyar because of the minor Pesach.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Finally, Payah.
Hey, Gimel. One may not roll with a tofeach, so says Rebbeah, and the sages permit because it is possible. An ear in the harvest of whose top reaches the standing corn, if it is reaped with the standing ears, it belongs to the owner, and if not, it belongs to the poor. If an ear of lechem becomes mixed with a heap, it takes ma'aseh from one ear and gives to him. But Eliezer said, how can this poor person exchange something which has not come into his possession? Rather, he transfers to the poor person ownership of the entire heap, and it takes ma'aseh from one ear and gives to him.
Okay, that was base. That was from yesterday. So another 3.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I may not roll with the tofeach, so says Rebbeah, and the sages permit because it is possible. If a household was traveling from one place to another and was in need of taking lechem, shechita, payah, and ma'aseh ani, he may take, and when he returns home, he must pay. So Rebbe Eliezer. But the Kekama say he refused a poor person at the time. If a person exchanges with the poor, that of his is exempt, and the poor is liable. If 2 receive the field for sharecropping, this one gives the other his share of ma'aseh ani, and this one gives the share of his ma'aseh ani. If a person receives a field to reap, he must not take lechem, shechita, payah, and ma'aseh ani. Rabbi Yehuda says when he received from him for a half, a third, or a quarter, and if he said to him 1/3 of what you reap is yours, and he's permitted to take lechem, shechita, payah, but not ma'aseh ani.
Okay.
And tomorrow Shavuos.
Yeah, Mazel Tov. Tomorrow's Shavuos.